Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wild Big Cat Happy Hour. This is the Wild Big Cat. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I didn't make any videos this weekend. Well, I did make one last night, and I posted it, and felt kind of dumb after making it. So, I deleted it. So if anyone that did watch it is looking for the video again, it's gone. I deleted it. I felt like I didn't stay on track of what I wanted to really talk about. So I figured I'll kind of make a abbreviated version this morning. And kind of stay on track this time instead of going all over the place. I was distracted by other stuff. I had the police in the parking lot next to me because there was two guys doing drugs in the parking lot. One of them had a panic attack, and one of them wound up passing out in the car, so I had to call the police, and they were fighting beforehand. It was just it was a giant mess. So pretty much what I was talking about last night was how the world, the United States has went nuts in the last week. We got all this stuff going on in the world with the coronavirus and, people dying from that. And then, now we got to worry about, more major stuff happening in the United States, and with the killing of George Floyd, which he was murdered, cold blood. There's video evidence that the cops that killed him, they should all be in prison. They shouldn't have jobs anymore. Two of the officers had multiple things, with excessive force, and it's sad that had to happen, and that outcome of that could have been way better. If those cops don't get, murder one for killing someone in cold blood, it's sad. The system is really stupid and really messed up, and they're going to wind up getting some relaxed ass sentence of, yeah, we're going to give you 20 years, but you'll get parole in 5 for good behavior, and then you'll have stupid ankle babysitting. You can't do this, you can't do that. Bullshit. They murdered someone. Doesn't matter, if someone murders someone, I feel as we should go back to an eye for an eye, man. They killed someone, give them the death penalty. And don't wait, just do it, There's too many second chances for people that do really bad things in this world. And, making the taxpayers pay dollars on stuff like that, it's sad. But, back to the point, first off, rest in peace, George Floyd. My condolence go to his family, and he should never had to have anything like that happen to him. He wasn't resisting arrest. There was multiple videos of him complying with the cops, and then he was shoved to the ground because the, you know, those cops wanted to kill someone that day. That's the way it seems. So, you know, right now we're supposed to be doing peaceful, well, a lot of people are doing peaceful protests, and now, you know, this weekend they turned into some pretty bad stuff. Lots of stuff getting broken into, burned, you know, Minneapolis, you know, I pray for that city. They got a lot of stuff to go through, and millions and billions of dollars of damage because people decided they wanted to start looting in buildings and burning stuff to the ground, and that expanded to other cities. Lots of damage in many other cities. You got Chicago, ton of damage. I was in Chicago Friday night with my buddy. We were at his apartment, and about 9:30 at night, between 9:30 and 10 o'clock, all of a sudden all we started hearing was sirens, and we looked out his window, and he's on the 27th floor, and we're just seeing cop car after cop car after cop car coming down into the downtown area. And it's because there was a protest going on, and that lasted all through until about 1:30, almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and just kept hearing sirens, and it was crazy. And you know, we were gonna stay in the city. I was planning on staying in the city that, you know, the weekend to hang out with him, and he decided, you know, in the morning that we would, instead of staying in the city, we'd come back out to his mom's house because he didn't feel comfortable, and I truthfully didn't feel comfortable either, because, you know, we were watching Snapchat and stuff was getting pretty crazy. And then Saturday night, it got even worse. I mean, they were burning police cars, they were burning pedestrian cars, they were doing some pretty crazy things. And those people doing those acts, I truly think that they should get punished for what they're doing. That's not right. That's not how you help fix a broken system. You have to do it in a peaceful manner. You know, in civil rights, there was many great leaders. You had Malcolm X, you had Martin Luther King, you had Nelson Mandela, you know, Harriet Tubman. There's many great leaders that, you know, taught us to be peaceful and not destroy things, even when the police are using excessive force, you know, during a protest. Back then, you know, there was multiple times where Martin Luther King had gotten sprayed by the police, and they were using water cannons, and the pressure coming out of those water cannons is 200 to 300 psi, and they were hitting people directly straight on with that, and they never burned down the building because they got sprayed with a water cannon. They wound up going to the hospital and getting fixed because, you know, their skin would get ripped or whatever. And, you know, they didn't resist arrest. They didn't, you know, they were being peaceful. They wanted to have their voices heard. Well, Now, looting and burning buildings to the ground, it's not the right way to have your voice heard. And that is the thing that saddens me the most is, us as individuals, we're weak, but us as a united group, in order to stand up and talk and speak about this stuff going on, that's where we make a change. And a lot of the people that do the protest are there for the right reason. They're being peaceful. They're doing the right thing. But that very select few people that are out there to destroy stuff and break the system down, you're not breaking the system down. You're just out there to destroy stuff. And it just makes it worse for, the communities and the families that live in those communities, because, a lot of those people work in those places that are being burned to the ground. Some of those places that are burned to the ground are families' livelihoods. You got mom and pop shops that have gotten destroyed that they're not coming back. They're gone. The bigger stores, they got insurance policies. They can cover that kind of stuff. But all your mom and pop stuff, they're never coming back because they can't afford to do that kind of stuff. And it's saddening that we have to destroy everything in order to supposedly get our voices heard. And it's wrong. You definitely should not destroy stuff or think you should destroy stuff to have your voice heard. You should be able to stand there and talk with the police. No matter what, the police are still having, the good police officers shouldn't get a bad rap because you have a couple of bad officers, right? And, police are told to use excessive force or, something along that lines during protesting, because they don't want stuff like, buildings getting burned or broken into. But you have like small communities that have risen up and are taking care of, they're joining the police force because they don't want people destroying their businesses and that. In Chicago, some of the gangs had joined together to save their communities because they joined the police. They said, man, we're not going to let them burn our, towns to the ground because this is all we have. And that's awesome. I mean, that just because there are the very few bad cops doesn't mean that all of them are bad. And I think that we as a society have to have a big sit down and we need to work together as a team. We need to love one another. We can't keep doing this cycle of back and forth, hatred and that. racism is a real thing, and it's never going to go away, and we need to stop teaching it. And all the younger generations right now, they're seeing what's going on right now, and they're going, yep, you know, they're just learning from what is happening to, you know, today. And that is where we're teaching them racism. When we could teach them better things than hatred and stuff like that. So today I stayed mostly on the point where I wanted to stay, and I figured I'd, you know, remake the video, and hopefully this one comes out a little bit better. As I said last night in last night's video, comment. I'll make videos on whatever you guys want. I'm here for you guys, not for me. I love you. Have a blessed Monday. Be safe. Wash your hands. And as always, I'm the Wild Big Cat, and I love you guys. Bye.